What is up, you guys? My name is Elizabeth Yuen, and welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. As always, my focus is on writing worlds, dreaming big, and making every day magical. Today, we are going to be working on the end of Act 2 of Draft 3 of my Romantasy novel, Project Ember. So if that's something that you're interested in, then just keep watching. So I have been through like a whirlwind this past week. Like, personal update, my old car, which was a 2010 Hyundai Sonata, like, I brought it into the mechanic and I was like, hey, I just need an oil change and just, general check it out, make sure everything's good. And like an hour later, he comes back and shows me the oil filter and it's got metal bits in it. And he's like, I could fix your car, or you could get a new car. And I just kind of look at him and I'm like, so I should get, and then he finishes with me, a new car. It was funny in the worst possible way, because you never want to like have to like just buy a new car up and out of nowhere. And it's like, but my husband Ben and I knew that eventually we would need to buy a new car. So like this past week has been just frantically searching, because here's the thing is, so a little bit of money talk for you guys. I don't care how wealthy you are. If you're not smart with your money, you're not going to be wealthy for very long. And so my view and my husband's point of view is never buy a new car if you can help it. Like, if it's your dream to own a new car, great, go after that goal. But like, Ben and I have always been of the mindset of, we run our current cars into the ground and then we buy a used car. And so that's what we went ahead and did. And we bought like a car that's like 3 years old. It's perfect for our family and it works perfectly fine. It has all of like the new features that you want, in a car. But like, it's one of those things where it's like, could we have swung for like 15 grand more on a new car? Yes, we could have. Was it worth it to us? No, not when it's like that 15 grand that we just saved. We could go on some more family vacations. We could, I don't know, I could go on a writing retreat. Like, we could do all kinds of things with that extra money. So like, just, trick of the trade. If you're looking to like build wealth in your life, like, look for places that you can save money. And one of the number one ways is not to buy a new car. It's to buy a gently used car. Okay. I'm not talking something that's like busted up and like something that's going to cost more to fix it. I'm talking like 3 to 5 years old, has a little bit of wear and tear, not too much, just, so that way you still get like the 10-year warranty and stuff like that. Like, so just trick of the trade. But because we were busy with all of that, I barely worked on Project Ember for the past like 3 days. So we're now on chapter 24 of Project Ember. And y'all, we are so close to finishing Act 2. This is literally the final chapter of Act 2, and it transitions right into Act 3. Like, literally, end of Act 2, we are meeting the ultimate villain, one of them. Like, I say one of them, but we're meeting like the big baddie, and Act 3 is straight up like romantasy horror. Like, we're entering into like Halloween horror level night, like Halloween horror nights level, like scare factor. Like, we are dealing with just, I don't know, like a lot. And so it's very interesting, because we go from Act 1, which is establishing the setting, getting to know the female lead and the male lead a little bit. And then Act 2 is very much so their romance blossoming and the fun and games and like just establishing this new life that the female lead has always wanted secretly in her heart. And then Act 3 is, let's rip everything away from her. Let's plunge all of these characters into total darkness. And like, the trauma that these characters are about to go through is just, so we need to get into like that dark mindset. And so Act 24 is really, or Act 24, chapter 24 is really just that transition from going from like, okay, this is your typical romantasy novel to act 3, which is like really dark and dark like my soul. So like we're making the transition. So, and there's just this it's very interesting because in this chapter you can actually see, and you can actually see it in the landscape of going from like it's night. I even have a note which is really funny in here. I say, remember that it's night. Everything is dark. Like everything is dark. That is the start of this chapter. And it goes from beautiful night sky to just like swirling storm clouds, like icy cold, like just harsh elements. And it's supposed to represent obviously the transition that my female lead is going through of how do you face your darkest moment. Like, here we go. Like as the reader, and she knows that she's going into literally the lion's den and having to face one of her worst fears, having to face her own personal trauma, her own personal history head on. So there's a lot riding on chapter 24 to kind of deliver that, because we wind up at the end of the chapter meeting the big villain. So that's what we're working on right now. So I haven't had the headspace the past week to do it because I've been working so hard on making sure that we were finding a good new to us car, like a good used car. Oh my gosh, Ben came in clutch, man. Oh, he did. Okay. I love my husband so stinking much. He's phenomenal. He is my opposite in the best possible way. Like, so like when we were handling all of the details, like his logical side was coming out. He's very financy. Like he knows the ins and outs. And like, I was just like, you go, husband. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy looking at the car. Like, you go. But it was still like stressful of like trying to figure everything out. And so I did not have the headspace to really work on end of act 2. So I've been stuck on chapter 24 since since Monday, because Monday I finished like chapter 23, which I rewrote chapter 23 in full. And that wound up being how many? Chapter 23 is 2,253 words. And now I am working on chapter 24. So we're going to work on chapter 24 today. I'm hoping to get it completely done today, but I really want to linger with this and make sure that I am giving it the love and attention that it deserves. I also, so on ProWritingAid, they have like writing sprints that you can hop on. I'm probably going to hop on one of those just to keep myself accountable. I love doing like live stream write with me's. That's another thing. I didn't get to do a live stream write with me this week, which made me very sad, but it's because we were in the middle of buying a new to us car. So it was life was lifing this past week, you guys. Like life was hardcore lifing this past week. So yeah, I'm gonna work on chapter 24. We're gonna do a ProWritingAid writing sprint from 10 until 11, and then we're gonna finish chapter 24 together, and that's what we're gonna do. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm still working through chapter 24. I'm at 1,717 words. I'm just kind of like rewriting chapter 2024. Like what I do sometimes when I'm editing is, in order to really read through and kind of feel the chapter, I rewrite the chapter like in full. Sometimes I add a line, sometimes I keep what's already in. It just depends on what I'm feeling. And already I'm feeling like this version is a little bit richer and a little bit deeper than what it had originally been. So we're making good progress. But that being said, we are literally, it's 9:59 a.m. and I have a writing sprint with ProWritingAid. So I'm going to hop on that and enjoy that. So that way there's that community feel. That's another thing. It's like being a writer, it is very lonely, like, because no one else is doing it with you. Like, I'm not on calls all the time. I'm literally just in my head writing all the time. So sometimes it's nice to just do like live write with me sessions and just go about it that way. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop on the ProWritingAid writing session and get some more of chapter 24 done.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough for you. I wish you could be happy, yeah. But I can't lie. LA made you crazy, yeah. You don't
You guys, the live stream, the writing live stream just ended with ProWritingAid. And what was funny is I was working towards the transition from like up until now in Project Ember. It's been, you know, like just setting up the world and then entering into fun and games. Like things have been generally lighthearted. I mean, there's been like an undercurrent of the bigger threat, like everything. And what was so funny was in the middle of writing, I had to switch from this, which is medieval lo-fi fantasy, okay? Like very upbeat, fun traveling, to this playlist. Like the Ring of Fire, dark pagan folk, Slavic Witcher music. Like we're in the depths of Romantasy horror right now. And as I'm like working through it and editing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am tapping into like the depths of my dark soul for these scenes. Oh my gosh, I'm just like, you guys. So during that writing session with ProWritingAid, I managed to beef up chapter 24. It was around like 1,600 words, and now it's around 2,000 words. I'm still working through it. But we're setting the scene. We're setting the tone. Like, this is no longer happy adventure time. This is like, we're in the dungeons, you know, like we're in the thick of it right now. And it's only going to get darker from here. So I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to keep working. But that writing session with ProWritingAid, it was so fun. It was so good. It just made me feel a little bit more connected to the writing community, which is always important. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and keep working on chapter 24, and I'll see you on the flip side. I have worked through chapter 24 to the best of my ability. I'm going to go ahead, do double space, print this out back to back, and put it in my whopping binder so that way I can actually read through via print, because my philosophy when editing, whenever you're writing, you really should write the chapter, then print it out, like double space it, then print it out and read it again before you can consider like even moving on to like the next chapter, just so that way you have a better understanding. And then also, like, I feel like printing out your book chapter by chapter really helps you see typos, or even just sometimes I notice like a word used once and then a few paragraphs down used again, and it's easier for me to visualize and see. So let's go ahead and print it out and really start to just hardcore editing this chapter. Okay, so I'm officially finished with chapter 24 of draft 3 of Project Ember. I'm at 2,181 words for this chapter, but wait, I need to see how many words total I have so far for draft 3 at the end of Act 2. So we're currently sitting at the end of Act 2 at 69,289 words. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me right now, like, that I'm officially done with both. I finished Act 1, and now I'm officially finished with Act 2, and I'm just processing that. That's crazy to me. Like, I've written so much this past month. Like, I've gotten so much work done for Project Ember, and I'm really happy with where it's sitting. And it's really funny because it's like this chapter, as I mentioned earlier in this vlog, this chapter was like the transition from, okay, we've been having a fun adventure up until now, and all of the darker elements are now coming out to play. And we are now in the horror section of this novel. I mean, it's completely different from what the reader and from what my characters have known up until this point. I mean, they've all been dealing with their own issues. They all have their own problems to solve, but I mean, like, literally we're entering into the horror section of this Romantasy novel, and things are going to happen, and my characters are going to have a lot of gut-wrenching moments, and not everyone will survive. So yeah, and that's hard because honestly, so as a writer, when you decide to kill off someone or decide to, I don't know, like hurt your character in some way, if you decide to kill off your character or hurt your character in some way, it's difficult because sometimes you go in, you know from the get-go, at least I did, I knew from the get-go this character was gonna die from the beginning. Like, when I first thought of this story, even in years ago when I was working on like draft 1, when this was a completely different story, I knew that that character was going to die. Like, it was always that character's purpose to die, to drive the story forward. And now we're coming into Act 3, which is going to be just the darkest of dark acts, and it needs to happen. I don't look forward to editing that part and rewriting that part because that's gonna tear up my heartstrings a bit, but it's necessary. And so we're just plunging the female lead right now in chapter 24 into literal darkness. So yeah, which actually was perfect because what happened was, in the middle of my writing session, I don't know if you guys can hear, it's raining outside. So like, as I'm like writing this like really dark, sad scene, it's raining outside. So yeah. Okay, so I finished Act 2. Yay, that was the whole goal today, was to finish Act 2. So I'm really proud of myself. I'm really really pumped. I'm so excited because once again, like, my goal this month, I don't know if I'm going to hit it, but my goal this month is to finish draft 3 of Project Ember. Or at least get as close to finishing it as I possibly can, because I want to send it off to beta readers. These are some of my closest friends, dearest family members who know I've been working on this. They don't necessarily know all of the details, but actually none of them know any of the details. They just know I've been writing and that I'm reaching out to them to read through this because they're very into Romantasy. So I'm working through that, and it's just like I'm so excited because very soon this will be in the emails of all of my friends who have been kind of like waiting patiently for this. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to share this with them, and I really hope that they enjoy it as much as I've been enjoying writing it. And that's key, is as a writer, you want to make sure that it's like, you want to make sure that you're proud of what you're putting out there. You know that this is like the best version of what you can put out there. And so like, take the time to really edit through and look through and make sure with a very critical eye, does this compare to like to best-selling novels? Does this compare to the books you pick out from your library, from the bookstore? Like, make sure that the quality is really, really good. You don't have to make sure the quality is really good on the first draft, but by draft 3, you should know without a shadow of a doubt that your writing is going to stand up on its own. It's going to show everyone what it's made of, what you were made of. So yeah, I'm really, really excited, and I feel like that's a very good way to end this vlog. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, magical day.
Send me off with the words of a lullaby.